I've trained over 250 SaaS sales reps from SDRs all the way up to full sales teams, and the best cold callers that I've worked with all share these four core skills. These are the exact skills that help me book 100 plus meetings as an SDR and an AE, but what are helping these top reps book 10 meetings a week consistently. So in this video, I'm going to break down these four skills that the top 1% do differently and how you can build each of them for yourself. So the first thing is just following a system. Like you really need to focus on detaching from the outcome. If you're constantly focused on how can I book a meeting, are they going to say yes? Then you're not going to get it because your tonality changes. Everything falls apart. So instead of thinking I need to book 10 meetings this month through the phone, reverse engineer that. So say if I do 1,000 dials and have a 5% connect rate, that means I have 50 connects where people pick up the phone. If I then have a 50% connect to conversation ratio, I'll have 25 conversations. And then if I have a, I think it's like 50% conversation to meeting ratio, I'll book 12, 10 meetings, right? And that's what makes it controllable for you. If you can focus on just doing 1,000 dials over the course of the month, 20 working days-ish is about 50 dials a day. So instead of saying, I need to book 10 meetings this month, if you can say, I need to do 50 dials today, that's in your control and it breaks down the goal to make it a lot more manageable. And understand that if you do those 50 dials a day and you maintain those metrics of 5% connect rate, 50% connect to conversation, 50% conversation to meeting. Obviously, this is an example. It doesn't have to be that high because that is high. But again, if you do that, you will get the end outcome. So why would you focus on booking 10 meetings when you know if you do the dials and stick to your metrics, you're going to get there anyway? And that is what the top 1% do. They just are relentless with their numbers, with maintaining these percentages, maintaining their conversation rate, maintaining their conversation to meeting rate. And if you do that, that will help you book way more meetings. So that's the first skill. Just focus on your numbers, make it into a numbers game, make it predictable, work out your law of averages and stick to those numbers. The second thing is all about tonality. Now, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. 97%, I think it's 97% of communication is through non-verbal. So whether that's facial expressions, whether that's your tonality, it's not just what you're saying, it's how you're actually saying it to the person. Over the phone, of course, we don't have facial expressions, we can't smile, we can't use eye contact. So everything comes down to how you're saying it. And how you're saying it can completely change the meaning of the sentence. If I said like, can you come here, please? And then I said, can you come here, please? Like I'm saying the same thing, but my tonality affects how you perceive it. So the top reps, the top 1%, really focus on mastering their tonality using upward inflections. So ending words on a high, ending words on a low, like downward inflections, understanding when to use these things, how to really master your tonality to have a real conversation with a prospect. So when you're doing this, the easiest way we did it, and this is from my sort of face-to-face sales days, is break down your script into different parts. So for example, you have the opener, then you have your problem statement, then you have your pitch. What you should be doing every single day is saying your opener 10 times in a row until your tonality is perfect. Only then should you move on to the next piece, your problem statement. Say that 10 times. Then your pitch, say that 10 times. And just really focus on repetition. The more times you say it, the more comfortable you're going to feel, the more natural the tonality is. And this ties into another point, which is all about your script. If you follow a structure every single day, it's a lot easier to focus on tonality. If you're going in blind, guessing what you're going to say, thinking of the next sentence, then that's all you can process. Like the brain can't process tons of things at once. It's like a supercomputer with like one thing it can focus on, right? So if you're focusing on what am I going to say next, you're not conscious of your tonality, which means it can slip away and people get bored, they may hang up. So what you should do is have a script and then you can focus on mastering the nuance of how you're saying that script. So if you use a permission-based opener, say it 10 times in a row until it's great. Do that every single moment and really be conscious of your tonality. Again, you can talk to your mentor, talk to your coach, ask them to review calls, but review how you're saying it and make sure you have tonality that reflects you talking to a friend. That's what we always say. The third skill is consistency over motivation. The results compound. Like if you just do the input every single day, over the course of a month, it piles in. So the same way I said, do 50 dials a day. Even if for 2 days, let's just say you can't be bothered. Like you've had a tough week, you've had external factors, whatever reason you want to give, and you don't do those dials, right? So you miss 100. That's 10% of your input that's been completely erased, right? If you miss 100 dials. So that means that 10% of your meetings, 1.2 to 1 meeting is gone already. So suddenly, you missing just those 2 days, just giving yourself a little break, leads to you not hitting your goal of 10 meetings through the phone. So every single day you should be relentless with doing the input and turning up. Like, don't do it when you feel like it, do it when you don't. It's the hard days that really matter. And when you look back at the course of the end of the month, you're going to sit there and be so grateful that you put in the input, because one missed day really does lead to big negatives down the road. So just make sure that you're focusing on the input every day. Just do the dial. Set 2 call blocks, a 1 hour block in the morning, a 1 hour block in the afternoon, and execute on the phone. That's what the top 1% are doing. And the last thing is skillful, which is all about pattern recognition and just adaptability. So I spoke about a script a bit earlier, but a script is a baseline, it's guardrails. It's not exact. Like, you don't have to say the exact same words every single time to different people. People are throwing nuances at you, different situations. So it's your ability to be able to understand that and adapt based off it. If they're talking in, if they seem really rushed, then again, matching them, talking a bit quicker. If they're really bubbly, really happy, really bouncy, like match their tonality. Like, this nuance and this adaptability to who you're talking to is massive. If you're talking to someone, and again, there's 4 different personality types which you can look into. I like the sort of color-based one, which is red, yellow, blue, and green. So, for example, like a blue person is pretty similar to me, very numbers-driven, very analytical. So I don't talk like super excited on the phone, like especially if I'm a prospect getting called. I'm quite relaxed, but I always ask about the numbers and the hard data, because when I understand that, it makes it easier for me to make a decision. So if a cold caller understands that and starts giving me percentages, talking about the issues and how it affects specific numbers, then I'm going to respond very well to that. The same way, though, that if someone is a green light, which is a green personality that's quite bubbly, quite personable, they just like want to make sure that everyone's doing well. Like, if someone's bubbly on the phone, match that. Like, stick to their tonality, use labeling, use mirroring, as Chris Voss talks about, and just adapt how you're talking to the prospect. Like, cold calling isn't one size fits all. You have your script, but you have to be able to change it to who you're talking to. So again, that's the 4 skills that the top 1% are doing with the reps I'm coaching: is follow a system, really focus on your numbers, your input, focus on your tonality. It's not what you say, it's how you're actually saying it. Do it every single day. Consistency beats motivation 100% of the time, and understand patterns and be able to adapt your script based on the person you're talking to. So if you apply those 4 skills, you'll be in a great spot. And of course, if you want my support, as I've mentioned, I've helped 100 reps plus hit their number through the phone, then feel free to book a call. We'll see if it's a fit and we can go from there.